In 1965, a Hungarian man named Laszlo Polgar wrote a series of strange letters to a woman named Clara. He was proposing a marriage based on a singular, high-stakes project. They would raise genius children from scratch. Laszlo believed innate talent was a myth. He argued that deliberate practice and rigorous habits could manufacture brilliance in any field. He lived by a specific mantra: a genius is not born, but is educated and trained. After Laszlo successfully courted Clara, they turned their home into a specialized training ground for their 3 daughters. The girls were homeschooled in a house overflowing with chess books, portraits of masters, and meticulous records of every competitor they might face. Chess became the total focus of their daily lives. The results were undeniable. Susan began defeating adults at age 4. Sophia became a world champion by 14, eventually earning the rank of grandmaster. Judith, the youngest, proved the most successful of all. At 15 years and 4 months old, she became the youngest chess grandmaster in history, breaking a record previously held by Bobby Fischer. A grandmaster is the highest title a player can achieve, representing the absolute pinnacle of the sport. We often interpret such achievements as a display of superhuman willpower. However, the sisters describe their childhood as entertaining. They loved the game because they grew up in a household culture where an obsession with chess was the baseline normal behavior. Evolution has wired humans as herd animals. We have a deep-seated biological drive to fit in and earn the approval of our peers, because for most of our history, these bonds were essential for survival. In the ancestral world, being cast out of the tribe was a death sentence. As the saying goes, the lone wolf dies, but the pack survives. Collaboration provided the safety and resources needed to thrive. This ancient preference still dictates our modern behavior. We generally follow the social scripts handed down by our families and communities, often adopting cultural habits without ever consciously questioning them. Most struggles with habit building stem from a misalignment with the social gravity of your surroundings. If your personal goals clash with the norms of your pack, the social pressure will almost always win. To harness this social gravity, we have to understand the 3 specific groups we are biologically inclined to imitate. The first group is the close. We unconsciously pick up habits from those in our immediate proximity. This explains why we often mirror a parent's way of arguing, a coworker's posture, or even a friend's specific slang. The statistical impact of these close connections is massive. One landmark study found that a person's chances of becoming obese increased by 57% if they had a close friend who became obese. The second group we imitate is the many. When we are unsure of how to act, we scan the environment to see what everyone else is doing. In Solomon Ash's 1950s conformity experiments, subjects were asked to match the left line to the identical right line. The correct answer is clearly C. Yet when actors intentionally chose A, 75% of subjects doubted their own eyes and agreed, just to fit in. Humans have a natural mode of getting along with others, and in most situations we feel more comfortable being wrong with the crowd than being right by ourselves. The third group we imitate is the powerful. We are naturally drawn to behaviors that offer status, prestige, and the approval of others. We replicate the routines of highly effective people because we equate their habits with their success. By mimicking a boss's communication style or a leader's morning routine, we are attempting to gain the same resources and respect they enjoy. This desire for status helped sustain the Polgar sisters' training for decades. Their chess habits earned them the praise of their parents, aligned them with their household norms, and ultimately granted them the high-status title of grandmaster. Habits become effortless to maintain when they elevate our social standing. If a behavior earns us respect and admiration, we find it inherently attractive. Building better habits requires moving away from the idea of the solitary, difficult struggle. The most effective strategy is to join a culture where your desired behavior is the normal behavior. New habits feel achievable when you see the people around you doing them every single day. To maximize your success, look for the intersection on this Venn diagram, a group where your goal is normal, but you also share a secondary common interest. If you want to get fit, joining a nerd fitness group provides a shared identity that makes the transition feel natural. This shift transforms growth into a collective pursuit. Your identity becomes linked to the group. You move from the individual effort of trying to read to the shared identity of we are readers. Lasting change is a product of social alignment. By finding the right tribe, you allow the gravity of the group to pull you toward your goals.